calves are born, this is where they come. Some dairies keep their calves inside. We find that our calves do better, like in better health and stuff like that, being outside. They get less infections, they're more conditioned to the weather conditions when they go over to the calf pens instead of being in the moist environment of being inside. Some dairies have large exchange fans that allow the air to be exchanged very quickly, and they have less of a risk with larger barns. We don't have a facility like that here on our farm, so they stay outside. Girl calves are called heifers, just like this one, just like Mildred. After birth, the calves are fed colostrum for 3 days from the mom. It's a thick milk with antibodies. Boy calves are called bulls. Our dairy sends them to a feedlot in Lethbridge, so they get raised for beef. So our calves stay in hutches. These are called hutches. The babies get fed individually until they're ready to be weaned, when they go to the big sheds in the back there with all the other calves. So the supplements that we give them looks like this. It's corn and barley, there's some pellets in it. It's a molasses blend. When I get really hungry, sometimes I eat the corn pellets. We feed them milk, similar to what babies drink in babies formula. A little bit different, higher protein, higher fat. They get 2 pails, and they're fed the same amount of milk twice a day, morning and evening. So Rachel will come feed the calves right away. So this is Mildred. She is my very first baby on the farm. So I bred her mom, 664. I artificially inseminated them with frozen semen out of bulls. And I bred 664, and this is my first baby that was born on the farm, and she's a heifer. So we get to keep her, and she gets to go back into the milk herd. So eventually one day I'll get to milk her. Here we are at our weaned calves. So these calves are older than probably 6 months, and here they eat a richer food until we move them over to the yearling calves. These calves have been dehorned so that it keeps the other cows safe when they're in the milking barn. They're really friendly and they like to eat your pads. These are our newly weaned calves. So these babies are usually between 12 and 15 weeks old. So they get milk usually 6 to 8 weeks after birth. And then at this point, they're put into this pen and they're fed extra pellets and good stuff to help them get the nutrition that they need to grow. Here we are walking up to our yearling pen. My sister is petting them. They're really friendly at this age. They're pretty big. There she's being licked by one. So the calves at this point are weaned. These are the calves before they go to the heifer pen. So not quite old enough yet. They're here to eat enough and to grow. There's their house in the back there. There's some lying down. These are our heifers. We raise them ourselves. We put them in here so that we can properly monitor them so that we are able to breed them back into our herd. They're bred at about 15 months of age. They give birth to a single calf, usually about 40 kilograms, so 80 to 100 pounds. And then if it's a bull, Then it gets shipped to the feedlot. If it's a heifer, it continues on this farm and we feed it milk, and it'll eventually end up here one day. This is our dry barn. So here the cows come after they've been milking for about 10-11 months. So cows have to have babies in order to be able to give milk. So we breed our cows after 60 days of them having a calf, and once they get close to their due date, which is about the same as humans. Humans are 9 months and cows are a few weeks longer. So when they get close to calving, we dry them up about 60 days before they're going to calve, so that they're able to use their full nutrition and the nutrients that they eat to contribute to the weight of the calf and the health of the calf. And the heifers will go back to our herd. So we have bred heifers in here. So after they're bred in our breeding pen in the back over there, then we move them to this pen where they can grow and carry their pregnancy until they're ready to calve. And then they're moved into the close-up barn, which is in our main milking barn. So we have a bull in here. The bull is 104. So he's the one in the center there. So he's a boy. Boy calves are called bulls. So he's probably about 2 years old now. Dairy bulls are really scary, so they're quite aggressive. You can see him kind of snorting at me. He doesn't like me sitting up here. He's trying to protect his ladies. This is a heifer. So she's a nice looking heifer actually. So she'll be ready to calve probably within the next month and a half. She doesn't have anything on her feet. So the dairy cows on the other hand, like the one drinking, she has been in the barn before. She's got a pedometer on her foot. So when she goes through the milking stalls, that pedometer gets read back to the computer. So that's one that we have bred ourselves and is in this pen. The reason why the bull is in here is because when we breed our heifers and some of them don't get pregnant, we put them in with the bull to make sure that they do end up being pregnant in the end, so that they are able to give milk once they calve and be contributed to our herd. This is the manure we get from cleaning out the barns. So we pile it here. It's a lot, I know, but it gets it composts, and then we spread it on our fields to provide fertilizer and stuff so that we can grow the foods for the cows. In the back, the green pile is hay that we put into the silage. It's just been processed so that it's smaller chunks so that the cows don't sort the feed so bad. And straw as well. So the dry cows get more straw in their feed because otherwise they just gain weight when they're not producing milk. So this is what our silage looks like. So silage is put into bags here. As you can see, they're quite long. A yeast is put in it to ferment the feed so that it doesn't rot. So if you come up here, so it almost smells like, I don't know, what would you say it would smell like? It smells kind of sweet. Almost. So this is an example of what silage looks like. So it's just chopped up really, is basically all. There's corn silage, barley silages, there's pea silages. You can basically make anything into a silage. It's called a silage once it's chopped. So we feed our cows corn and barley silage with hay that's tub ground. This is an example of a protein pellet. This is what we put in the cow's feed as well. It helps to supplement them for optimal milking condition. Here's some examples of the vitamins and minerals we give the cows. So this is called a salt block. It has minerals in it for the cows. This is Daisy. Hi Daisy. Sodium bicarb is this one here. It's like baking soda. It helps the cows easily digest their feed. And this is kind of like, it looks like sand kind of. And it's just supplements and stuff in there to help the cows be in their best nutrition for milking. Here we are walking up to our main milking barn. So over here on this side, we call it our close-up pen. So we have the cows that are going to calve here. They're put in this pen so that we can watch them, and if they need help when they're calving, when they're having their babies, then we'll help them. There's a door back there that we'll go through in a bit, and it's a heated shop so that we can bring the moms and the calves in after. And on this side, we have our main barn. So here is where all of our dairy cows come after they're milked, and this is where they live. So they just got freshly bedded here. They're laying down. They love when they get bedded. And they have a few eating. This is a free barn. The cows are welcome to go wherever they want. There's fans for the summertime so that the cows have adequate ventilation. This is called the feed bunk. So the cows stand here to eat, and they're here probably for 8 hours of the day, and otherwise they're laying down in their bed. It's fresh bedding, we just bedded it. And here is where the feed goes, all the way down to the end. Here we have the cows waiting to be milked. So we separate our cows into 2 batches. We milk about 140. So they don't all fit in the parlor area, so they get held out here until we're able to bring them in. So I have a few calves I want to show you. Hello, Fred. So this is Fred. When she first came into the milking barn as a heifer, I was milking her. She was really bad. She kicked the milker off a lot, and she was really ornery. I used to call her Stink Eyes. Dairy cows are really tame. They'll pretty much let you do anything you want to them. My cows anyway. Fred and Mabel are my sweet peas. Cows spend 6 to 8 hours a day eating. They spend 6 to 8 hours a day laying down, and they spend 6 to 8 hours a day standing around. They have 4 stomachs. So, well, 4 divisions of their stomach actually. So when they eat, different compartments get used for different parts of grinding, masticating, and different kinds of things like chewing, and they chew their cud. So they chew up to 50 times a minute. Cows like Mabel have 32 teeth. We have 32 teeth as well. They only have front teeth though, like where they chew their cud. They have a top palate of skin that on top so that they can grind their feed well, and they have back molars. Cows eat up to 100 pounds of feed a day. So it probably weighs about as much as you guys right now. So a cow eats that much feed a day in order to be able to milk as much as she does. The cows on our farm, like Mabel and everyone else, milk an average of 36 liters a day. So when you do the math, there's 4 liters in one of the big jugs that you get from the store. So she'd milk about 9 of those a day. Cows are red-green colorblind. They can see 360 degrees around them, except right behind them. So like this, the cows can't see you when you're back here, but they can see you on all the sides. You can probably see my hands right now too. When dairy cows are at the end of their lifespan, so usually some of them milk for 10 lactations, so they can be 8, 9, 10 years old. It kind of varies as the cow goes. Some of them end up with illnesses. After they're done in the milking herds, like places like this, they go and are used for meat. One of these animals, one of these cows, weighs about 1,200 pounds, so very heavy. This type of breed is called Holstein. So they're black and white. They have black and white spots. There's many different kinds of dairy cows. Guernsey, Jerseys, Ayrshire, Milky Shorthorns. These are the most popular cows in Canada, so most widely milked. They give a high volume of milk with a smaller portion of butterfat in the milk. Mikey's gonna eat the camera. So this cow here has a pink udder. She's treated, she has mastitis, which is an infection of the teat canal. Her milk gets discarded. We don't milk it into the line. Milk can't be kept that has antibiotics in it or any type of pharmaceuticals, so it gets dumped, and she's milked separate from the herd to ensure that the treated milk doesn't end up in the tank. This is where the cows come out. This is what the back of the barn looks like. So the cows are kept here, and then they're bundled into both sides of the parlor. So we'll go around and take a look at what it looks like when the cows are milking. So here the cows are being milked. There's gates that keep them inside the parlor, and they're air operated. So when the air is pushed, the button is pushed, the air releases the gate and the cow is able to go back into the barn to eat. This is Mildred's mom, 664. She pretty much looks nothing like Mildred. Each cow has unique spots. This is where our cows are milked. We have a double 6 parlor, so there's 6 machines on both sides. The cows stand with their butts facing us. Here we have cows on this side that are milking. It's a highly computerized system. It takes about, on average, for a cow to milk, about 5 minutes. Machines like this make it possible for farmers to milk 100 cows in an hour. So it's highly efficient for like dairies that are larger than 300. So I'm holding a scrubby. It has brushes in it, and when you push the trigger, it cleans the teat so that it's nice and clean for the milker to be able to go on the cows. So I'm going to brush a cow here for you now. Her number is 662. And now that they're clean, I'll place the milker on. The computer shows you who she is, what her average daily milk production is for a milking per day. These cows are milked twice a day. Push the green button. And the milker sucks just like a vacuum. Here you can see the milk coming into the claw, where it then goes through a meter. It's counted and recorded on the computer. It goes through the lines. It goes through the lines to the end of the parlor, where it goes through a pumping system. It's filtered in this soft filter and then pumped back into the tank, where it's then cooled and kept for transport every second day. After the cows are done milking, we dip each teat with a teat dip. It helps seal the teat canal so that pathogens like bacteria don't get in and infect the teat canal, and the cow will stay healthy. Milk is stored, so it's called a refrigerated milk tank. There's meters on the inside that mix the milk up so that the milk doesn't separate from cream to milk. And milk pickup is twice, well, every 2 days. And today was milk pickup day. So the milk truck driver comes and locks his hose onto the bottom, and he sucks all the milk out of the tank. Before milking the cows, you have to climb up this ladder. And you put this line on the tank. The milk is warm when it comes in here. It comes from the parlor where the cows are being milked right now. The milk goes through the processing plant where it's pasteurized, so it's heated to kill any bacteria that may be in the milk before it's made into cheese, yogurts, or ice creams, even chocolates. It only takes about 2 or 3 days for the milk to make it to the farm, to the plant, and out on the shelves where it's ready for you guys to drink.